Hello and welcome to CNC World, broadcasting live from North America. I'm Xie Ge in Washington.
And I'm Henry Parrott. Over the past 5 years, many new Chinese technologies have spread to the world. Among them stand the new 4 great inventions of Chinese modern times: dockless shared bicycles, high-speed rail, mobile payment, and e-commerce.
While making daily life more convenient, these modern innovations boost productivity and change businesses. Today we're going to take a closer look at how technology is changing lives and creating green and sustainable development. Now I'm joined by Scott Schober, President and CEO of Berkeley Varitronic Systems from New York, and our correspondent Jin Jing from London. Welcome.
In China, more than 90% of small businesses, retailers, transportation, and public services are already using digital payment systems. Thanks to its convenience, China skipped credit cards and jumped straight to e-payments. It's on its way to becoming a cashless society.
Why is Thomas from Germany celebrating with so much enthusiasm? Like many foreigners in China, he is enjoying the convenience of a life without cash. Over the past 5 years, China has embraced a life online. Some expats here in China, as well as Chinese themselves, have dubbed the phenomenon China's 4 new great internet innovation. Same as the 4 old inventions, it is their new technology that transforms people's lives. One of these 4, and the one that appears to be floating Thomas's boat, is mobile payment, in which China is now leading the world in scale, scope, convenience, and coverage. So pervasive is the trend that robbers would be hard-pressed to find any cash to steal from in a modern Chinese store. Consider a normal day for someone living in China. You wake up in the morning, go and buy breakfast on the street, and pay by scanning with your smartphone. In the subway station, you scan your smartphone to purchase your ticket. If, after getting off the train, you find there is not enough time to walk to the office, you scan the code for a shared bicycle, aka OFO bicycle, and ride to work in minutes. Time for lunch? You and your co-workers find a good restaurant nearby by using a smartphone-based app that allows for group purchases. After lunch, you go to the nearby supermarket to buy some bottled water, maybe a magazine from a kiosk too, all paid for with your smartphone. You can also go shopping online during your break. With a bit of luck, you will get it by the time you arrive home. When you are tired by the end of the day, you can simply use an app to order food delivery. The delivery cost is about $1, and the food will be at your door in just 30 minutes. The smartphone can handle payments for taxis, utilities, and even hospital bills. And savvy street performers will display a sign with a QR code so as not to miss out on any tips. This is a glimpse into the life of most Chinese, allowing you to bid farewell to the wallet and bank cards. Meanwhile, if you run out of battery charge, no worries. Just plug it in to a shared charging point. These developments are encouraged by the Chinese government under its Internet Plus strategy. Stimulated by an online economy, traditional Chinese businesses are also growing fast and creating more employment opportunities. While online commerce is booming, with retail sales already accounting for 1/3 of the national total, the employment in the internet industry has reached a staggering number of 16.772 million. The logistics industry has developed even faster, now accounting for 6.5% of China's employment, with 50.12 million employees. And the life of Chinese people has changed, since they are living life at their fingertips.
Together, Alibaba's Alipay and Tencent's WeChat Wallet represent approximately 90% of China's mobile payment market. And around 1/3 of coffees bought from Starbucks in China are now paid for with WeChat Wallet alone.
But for our international viewers, you won't have to wait long to use this service. Both are expanding quickly overseas and are already available in parts of Europe, Asia, and the US. Market leader Alipay pushes ahead with its Airport of the Future program. Targeting destinations frequented by Chinese travelers, the program aims to make shopping hassle-free as soon as they step off the plane. Let's take a look.
Chinese customers mainly pay with UnionPay credit card before. For 1.5 years now, they have also been using Alipay, a mobile payment app on the smartphone for e-payment. It is similar to Apple Pay. Tripidi was founded in 2013. We opened the first store here at Frankfurt Airport. In the middle of 2016, the second store followed beyond the security point in Terminal 1, where we are right now. And since 2017, we have store number 3 in Terminal 2, which is beyond the security of non-Schengen country departures.
The top
sellers among Chinese travelers are fast cookers in pans by Fissler and WMF, salt and pepper shaker by Beijing, or stationery by Faber-Castell, Lamy, Schattler are also popular. These are the favorite products. We have the advantage because we're still relatively small and we have space to grow very fast. This is why we were the first to develop mobile payment system integration with Alipay. So we simply scan the QR code on the mobile phone and the customer pays with Alipay wallet. Data privacy is not an issue. There is one unique QR code valid for 60 seconds linked to the specific Alipay account. I think the issue is that mobile payment in Germany isn't popular at this time, but our core customer group is the Chinese travelers. And in China, mobile payment is prevalent, so it has a very high relevance for us. At home, Chinese people use Alipay several times a day. From subway ticket to sandwiches, you can really pay for everything in China with a phone. It is also so popular because there's a wide-ranging acceptance there. The Chinese are absolute pioneers in digitalization. They can be seen in various services and apps pertaining to e-commerce, social sharing functions. The Western world can always learn from China. China is always a few steps ahead of us.
Joining us now is Scott Schober, President and CEO of Berkeley Varitronics Systems. Scott, welcome to our program. So, what's the significance of mobile payment evolution to the Chinese economy?
Well, certainly mobile payments and the evolution of it is rapidly growing. If we think about it, everybody's got smartphones, especially all throughout China now. It's exploding. And really with mobile payments tied to our phone, you think of Alipay, Apple Pay, WeChat Pay with about 54% market share. It's becoming a cashless society throughout China. So when somebody goes to the store, if they get a taxi ride, they're not going to pay by cash anymore. They're going to pull out their smartphone and they're going to pay. The other thing is you see a combination of e-commerce because so many people can now use their mobile device to shop, to compare prices. And throughout China, what's happening now is you see QR codes everywhere. So you could take your smartphone, put it up to an item, you could shop for price, you could scan the QR code, you can pay. It makes it very simple, very convenient for people throughout China to purchase goods. And it's kind of an evolution now. So the days of carrying a wallet with cash, I think, are going to be gone for sure.
So how do you see this mobile payment boost the rapid growth of e-commerce?
Well, I think the mobile payment, since it's kind of a paradigm shift that we're seeing happen, where another generation is now out there shopping, purchasing, using e-commerce and taking advantage of this. It's similar to a trend that's happening in the U.S. What's happening here we see is people want instant gratification. They see something, they shop for it, perhaps online, and they want to be able to click a button after they do their own homework, their own research, and buy right away. And that same trend, I think, is happening in China. We see it here with Amazon, where in certain areas, if you're near a fulfillment center, you can click on your mobile device, a package will be delivered to your hands in a matter of hours. That's something that a few years ago never even crossed people's mind. It would seem impossible. Now, it's exciting because You can do all the research, you can watch videos, you can instantly click, and that's often what happens is a spontaneous purchase when you combine e-commerce with mobile purchasing and making it easy for the consumer. And that's exactly what's happening. It's happening here in the US, and it's happening by a storm throughout China.
So how do you see China's success in combining this e-commerce and mobile payment?
Well, I think it's going to be a huge success. Again, since it's a new generation that's adopting this, it won't happen overnight, but certainly younger people, tech-savvy people will do this, and it's the older generation that's going to be slower to adoption because they're not going to feel comfortable. They're still trying to figure out perhaps how to work a mobile phone. So they're less likely to point and click and shop and do a QR code or an Apple Pay and understand the implications of it. They're going to hold on to their wallet and cash still. So they'll probably need some assistance or hand-holding with the younger generation. But ultimately, it's going to transform the way we shop, and you'll probably find more and more of the elderly will start to embrace this technology when they see that it's secure, number one, that it's convenient, and it's not that hard to do, and it's culturally accepted. And especially when they try to pay for something with cash and it's just not accepted, because that's starting to happen. That's where the trend is shifting. You pull out money and people say, sorry, we don't accept cash. They have to make an adjustment then, no choice.
Yeah, so do you think that there will be more shops in the US that will support the mobile payment here very soon?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one thing. In fact, I was presenting last week at a conference, and that was one of the common complaints. They were asking what's a secure way to pay, because credit cards, there's so much fraud here in the U.S. And what's happening is I'm encouraging, and many other people are encouraging, look at Google Wallet, look at Apple Pay, look at some of these other forms of mobile payments, because they're much more secure than the old school traditional mag stripe that's on a credit card that we're used to swiping. Chip and PIN, unfortunately, has not been widely accepted and deployed throughout the U.S. We're decades behind, and that is not good for consumers because the high percentage of fraud that's happening here in the U.S. Eventually, in the next year or two, with the liability shifts, that may change. But what it's doing is it's forcing more people to consider alternate forms. Near-field communication, if you're using an Android, Google Wallet, Apple Pay, all these devices now supporting near-field communication. The technology is there, and it is much, much more secure and more convenient. It's just that you have to get retailers to adopt this technology and accept it instead of the old school methods.
Yeah, and we hope that this trend will get this will be getting very trendy here in the U.S. very soon. Okay, thank you, Scott, for your insight.
Yes.
Rentable bicycles have been around for decades, but suffered in popularity for being old-fashioned, heavy, and needing to be docked in individual stations. But after a complete redesign in China a couple of years ago, the current generation of bikes exploded in popularity. Through a smart mix of GPS, mobile apps, mobile payment, and big data technology, China's bike sharing system doesn't need any docking stations. You can park it anywhere, anytime.
Customer tracks down the nearest bikes using GPS. To unlock it, just scan a QR code with a smartphone. And at the end of the usage, lock the bike and the ride is paid by mobile payment. The technology proves wildly successful, changing inner-city commuting. Today, there are over 60 bike-sharing companies in China, operating around 16 million shared bicycles in dozens of Chinese cities.
After success at home, now two of China's leading bike share operators, Mobike and Ofo, are gearing up for global expansion. Mobike, with its distinctive orange bicycles, can already be seen on the streets of Singapore, Manchester, London, Florence, Milan, and Washington, D.C., while Ofo, the bright yellow ones, are already in the United States, Britain, Singapore, and Kazakhstan.
And joining us now is our correspondent from London, Jingjing. Hi there, Jingjing. We know that Chinese bike-sharing operator Mobike and Ofo have entered the UK. Could you brief us on the latest?
Well, you're right, Sheila. Chinese Trackless bike sharing system has been riding a wave of innovation into British cities including Manchester, Oxford, Cambridge, and London. And this is what Mobike looks like on the street of London. This bright orange color, almost makes it feel like home. This dockless bike sharing idea actually a new thing to the United Kingdom. Not only it's much easier to pick up and leave it anywhere, but it saves a lot of taxpayers' money to maintain the infrastructure, which is the case with existing dock sharing system like the Santander bikes in London. Actually, I've just been back from Manchester, which is the first city outside of Asia to launch the Mobike back in June. And people there apparently are getting used to using Mobikes. You can see them on the street, in the universities, and people are telling me this is a great option to go around. And here in London, Mobike was launched about a month ago in the Western Borough of Ealing. And today we are very pleased to have Ealing Council Leader, Mr. Julian Bell, to share his view with us. Thank you very much for joining us, Mr. Bell.
My pleasure.
So we heard you are a keen rider yourself. How do you personally like this dockless bike sharing idea?
Yes, I'm a keen cyclist and I want all my residents to take up cycling. And this is a great way for them to do it. They don't need to buy a bike of their own. Sometimes buying a bike can be expensive, but these are there, right there on their street corner. They just have to download the app and then book a bike and away you go. It's a wonderful system, it's very cheap. We want to get people making short journeys particularly, but everywhere we need people cycling.
Well, that's great. Do you go to work by Mobike sometimes?
Yes, I do use the Mobike. Obviously I have my own bike, but I have used Mobike. It's sometimes more convenient, or occasionally I may get a flat tyre on my own bike.
That's
and
unfortunate.
This is a curse of being a cyclist. It's the one curse. Everything else is fantastic about cycling. But these are always available. They don't have punctures because of the way the tyre is. It's a solid tyre. So the maintenance costs on them are minimal and they're there for everybody to use at any time of day or night.
Good. So Mobike has been launched in Ealing in London for a month now. How do the local residents like this new way of going around?
People have responded very positively, very enthusiastically. Within the first few weeks, we had thousands of our residents download the app onto their smartphones, and then we've had hundreds who've paid the deposit and started to make journeys on the Mobikes. Some have gone all the way into central London. I saw one on Oxford Street. So, very enthusiastic, and it will grow and more people will use it.
Compare with the bike sharing with docks like the Santander bikes. Do you think this one with the dockless bike sharing system has more potential in mega cities like in London?
Yes, and I think the cost of docking bike systems was always an issue. In Ealing, the mayor had always said to me that we weren't going to get the Santander bike scheme in Ealing. So this is a much more flexible, cheaper system, and it's very, very customer friendly, easy to book a bike, and it's at the convenience of the resident. Wherever they want to go, they can park sensibly and appropriately where they get to their destination, but they don't have to search for a docking station to put their bike into.
Yes. Do you think Mobike and OFO as well can help foster a culture of cycling in London and make city life much greener and healthier?
That was why I was so enthusiastic for Mobike to come to Ealing. I want Ealing to be the preeminent cycling borough in London, but I want all of London to be cycling. London and Ealing, we're growing places. It's a growing city. If we keep growing and we all keep trying to drive our cars, we're going to choke ourselves to death with all the poor air quality problems. So we need more journeys on bicycle, particularly small journeys. So, it's a sustainable form of transport. It's convenient, it's quick, it's cheap, and I think it will really transform London, and I want Ealing to be the first.
Okay, last but not least, can you show us how it works?
Sure.
You have an app on your phone, right?
I have. I've downloaded the app, and I've already searched for a bicycle, and when you've found one, they're all GPSed, and you can see them on a map on the app. and basically I've clicked on that and I've reserved the bike number 5066, which is this one here.
Okay.
And so what I need to do now is press the unlock button, and then a screen comes up with a little camera scanning system, which I put over the... Where are we? There we go. So it's now red, and it's now unlocking the bike.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay,
There we go.
it's open.
It's unlocked, and I'm
thank
ready
you.
to roll.
Thank you so much. Thank
My
you so
pleasure.
much. It's that easy, right?
Yeah, simple. Really, really easy.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us, Ms.
No,
Bell.
my
Thank
pleasure.
you. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Okay, so this Chinese dockless bike sharing idea is really kind of a hit in the United Kingdom. And hopefully we're going to have, see more of these bikes coming up. And this is really the future of city life. Okay, back to you, Xie.
Okay, thank you. And you know what? Actually, yesterday I got to ride a mobike here in Washington, and it surely made me feel like home too. And that was our correspondent Jingjing reporting from London. Thank you, Jingjing. Innovation is at the heart of China's 13th five-year plan. China aims to become an innovation nation by 2020, an international leader in innovation by 2030, and a world powerhouse in scientific and technological innovation by 2050. To help transform China into a world manufacturing power, the country's State Council unveiled its Made in China 2025 initiative, a 10-year national plan.
The plan highlights 10 priority sectors, including the greater use of automated machines. From manufacturing to the service industry, businesses are embracing the idea of using robots and artificial intelligence. Earlier this year, CRRC unveiled a train-bus-tram hybrid that doesn't need tracks, and even more futuristically, it doesn't need a driver either. Let's have a look.
The world's first trackless train was unveiled this year in central China's Hunan province. In effect, this mass transportation vehicle is a sort of bus-train hybrid, able to travel across the city of Zhuzhou without a rail line. It's actually running on virtual tracks. Aptly coined a smart bus, the train is based on the Autonomous Rail Rapid Transit System, or ART, which was developed by the CRRC Zhuzhou Locomotive Company. The ART system is based on a series of sensors built within the train. These sensors can assess the dimensions and conditions of a given road and plan a route accordingly. In essence, it's creating a virtual track. In addition, painted lane markers act as guides, much like they would for a bus. The train runs on electricity and can operate fully autonomously at a maximum speed of 43 miles per hour. The train boasts a capacity of 300 passengers with a standard configuration of 3 compartments. However, more carriages can be added as they are not physically connected. Free from the restraints of a track, the train turns with relative ease. And thanks to the 2 locomotive design, there is no need to turn around. Perhaps the greatest advantage of this smart bus is its reduced cost and construction time as compared to traditional rail infrastructure. This notion alone makes it an ideal service for easing traffic in smaller cities, where construction of mass rail network is simply not feasible. A 4-mile-long demonstration track is expected to start operation in 2018.
The smart bus is expected to begin service in China next year.
Looking forward to it. While getting commuters to the right place, robots are also moving parcels from A to B. At the Shentong Express distribution facility, small yellow robots nicknamed Minions by the staff are helping with logistics. They're self-charging and can improve efficiency by more than 2/3. Human colleagues have only one role, handing packages to the Minions.
As advanced as these robots are, technically they are not artificial intelligence. They may behave like robots thinking on their own, but they rely on supervised programming, meaning every line of code has been written by a human.
And in the meantime, scientists are working on true artificial intelligence. Last year, the University of Science and Technology of China unveiled its third-generation interactive robot, Jia. Jia can mimic human facial expressions, interact in both Chinese and English, navigate without assistance, and do other functions using cloud technology.
The Chinese government places strong emphasis on the robotics industry and artificial intelligence development. Robotics were first mentioned in the Government Work Report of 2014 that China aimed to achieve major breakthroughs in supercomputing, intelligent robots, super-hybrid rice, and other key technologies.
Well, for more on this, we're joined again by Scott Schober, President and CEO of Berkeley Varitronics System. Scott, welcome back to our discussion. So, give us a picture of where we are at AI development.
I think AI certainly is exploding. If we look at where it was just a few years ago, the technology itself has rapidly expanded. Just look at the year about 2013, AI technology and capability was equivalent to that of about a 6-year-old person. A step forward by the year 2029, which is not too far away from us, AI technology will have the full capacity of an adult. So basically, AI will be as smart as you and I. That's pretty impressive in such a short period of time of rapid expansion. And why is that happening? It's because of the heavy investment that different companies are putting into AI. In China, you certainly have Alibaba, Tencent, Baidu, many companies that are heavily investing, not just monetarily, but even in talent. And that's what's very impressive. There's about 39,000 AI technologists in China right now, and it's catching up very rapidly to the United States. The United States is about 78,000 AI technologists right now. So you could see that that gap is closing, and China is catching up soon to surpass the U.S. in AI developers and technology, and hence why there's so much money that's being fed into the system there to develop and evolve these technologies. And it could be from anything from machine vision type of things, robotics, automation, self-driving cars. There's so many exciting areas where AI is being utilized to grow and enhance just our everyday experience.
So how much do you think this AI industry could contribute to the growing economy in China?
Well, I think it's a two-edged sword if you look at it. There's going to certainly be some losses in jobs. What kind of jobs? Probably more production-oriented jobs, maybe disappearing. Imagine the truck driver. Those things will change if now you have a self-driving truck, and autonomous vehicles where it's heavy AI intensive. So really, what does that mean? It means the skill sets need to be changed. So there's many reports that have stated 16% of job loss for certain job sectors, truck drivers and manufacturing and other areas. And that's probably true. But the other side of the coin, the way I look at it, is there's going to be a lot more jobs created, those with very focused technical skills, those that are working in robotics, those that are working in things that support the AI build-out. And that's what's exciting there. So it's really a shift in jobs, not necessarily a complete loss in jobs. What will be appreciated, though, which will help certainly the Chinese economy, the U.S. economy, and other countries that are investing in AI, is the efficiencies that are gained by AI. Things can be done faster. Things can be done better. Just take the case of recently throughout China, there was 20 million CCTV cameras put out there. That can be effectively used when coupled with machine learning and AI to combat crime, to find people that are bad guys much quicker, much more efficiently than putting people out there and trying to chase down and track criminals and things like that. So using intelligence and gathering it and sharing of this information to make informed decisions will allow things to happen much faster, save efficiencies, ultimately affecting the bottom line and making companies and organizations and the government much more efficient with AI's help.
Okay, it's still very assuring to hear you say that. It's actually shifting of jobs instead of losing jobs. Okay, that's our Scott Schober, President and CEO of Berkeley Varitronic Systems, joining us live from New York. Thank you, Scott.
With mobile payment, e-commerce, AI, and robotics, China is counting on innovations to drive the next chapter of its economic growth. Through technology, China hopes to increase productivity, grow new industries, and create new jobs. With initiatives like Made in China 2025, China is using smart technology to transition the country from the global manufacturer to a competitive global player. Today, we saw some of the examples of just how far along China has come towards achieving this goal.
And that's all for today's special coverage on the 19th National Congress of the Communist Party of China. Stay tuned for more of the latest news and headlines from around the world. I'm Xie Ge in Washington.
And I'm Henry Parrott. Bye for now.